Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and it's another blobs puzzle today. So I've said before, I don't apologise for doing a lot of blobs puzzles because blobs always hits the spot for me. I just enjoy doing blobs' puzzles, so I'm going to do it again. This one is called Teenage Vampire Slayer because it introduces the concept of, well, it uses the concept of vampire cells, which we've used before on the channel. They get a bit complicated because you have vampire and victim cells all over the puzzle. I will explain the rules as carefully as I can when we get to that point. I will also mention that the title of it, Teenage Vampire Slayer, it's obviously very reminiscent of the TV series and movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I never saw the movie. That's typical of me. I don't see a lot of movies, but I was quite a fan of the series, which was really surprisingly subtle and funny in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a fan in the sense of joining the fandom and religiously never missing an episode or anything, but I did think it was really remarkably clever and amusing. And yeah, just there we go, reminiscing back some 25, 30 years. How many seasons were there? Probably 6 or 7. Sarah Michelle Gellar was very good, but then also Nicholas Brendan, Alison Hannigan, Anthony Stewart Head. I mean, it was just really good. It was really good. James Masters. I wasn't always mad about the English accents when they appeared. Obviously Anthony Stewart Head's was fine. Anyway, shut up about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That was quite a long time ago. But if Blobs is going to call a puzzle Teenage Vampire Slayer and theme it around the ages 16 and 17, which I presume is about appropriate for Buffy at the beginning, then there we go. That's what's going to happen. Now, don't forget that on Patreon we have Sudoku hunts on the 1st of every month. They get launched on the 1st. They run till the 20th. March's was, of course, a Blobs Sudoku hunt called Nurikabe Puzzle Pack, and that's fantastic. Loads of puzzles themed on Nurikabe. Big fan of that, and that's just cemented Blobs' abilities in my mind. And secondly, on Patreon we have connections and crossword videos and other content, so always worth joining us there. Always worth getting our apps. They do feature Killer Sudoku. They don't feature any vampire puzzles as far as I know. They are all available on the links under the video. There are 12 of them already, maybe more by the time you see this. That's unlikely, but there are loads, and they are great fun, great ways of passing the time. SVEN'S Sudoku Pad's also linked under the video, and our merchandise, so you could get yourself a Cracking the Cryptic Bobbins style mug like that one, for instance. Check out the merch. Now, let's have a look at the rules of the puzzle. Got nothing else to say apart from normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column. Oh, I can't do a column apparently. And every 3 by 3 box. Each wooden stake, a line, sums to either 16 or 17. So, I mean, I will say about the Vampire Slayer series that, amongst other things, it kind of cemented quite a lot of vampire lore, including that they were scared of holy water, I think, and the only way to kill them was driving a wooden stake through their hearts. And, of course, when a vampire bites, and that is the theme of vampire cells, which we'll get to in a moment. When a vampire bites a victim, that victim effectively becomes a vampire. Anyway, each grave or cage sums to the value shown. Now, this cage apparently sums to 18, but we will explain how it can. There are 9 vampires, and they include the digits 1 to 9 once each in the grid. 1 is in each row, column, and box. So this might be one of the possible dispositions of vampire cells. Not there, let's try there and there. They could include the given digits. For the purposes of cage and line totals, I said that each wooden stake sums to either 16 or 17, yeah. So for the purposes of cage and line totals, Vampire cells, I've really started very badly, sorry. Let me start the vampire and victim stuff again. So there are 9 vampire cells, 1 in each row, column and box, containing the digits 1 to 9. Could be in that arrangement. There are also 9 victim cells, and they also appear once each in every row, column and box, and contain the digits 1 to 9. So 2 special types of modifier cell. For the purposes of their values in this puzzle, in both cages and lines, the vampire cells have a value equal to the sum of their digit plus the digit of the victim cell in their box. So that is the victim the vampire has bitten. It's in the one in the box, not in the row or column, the one in the box. And B, victim cells have a value of 0. So that is real 18 modifier cells in this puzzle. Obviously, as well as the stakes being values of 16 or 17, Blobs has given us 16 and 17, as it were, as given digits. Lovely setup. Give it a try. Who knows what we're going to find? It will be quite complicated. I mean, but with Blobs, you never know. It might be a sort of introductory vampire puzzle. Give it a go. I'm going to restart now. Let's get cracking. Now, let's find cages which are impossible in normal circumstances. So an 18 in a cage means, well, it means 2 things, actually. It means, 1, that there is a vampire cell within that cage. I'm going to try and use red for vampires and yellow for victims, the pale, drained victims. Red for the blood of the vampire. Right, so there is a red cell within that. There's also not a victim cell within that cage, because that would have a value of 0. And whichever 2 values you added to make the vampire cell, you couldn't get to 18. Now, it would be nice to colour this cage as not having a victim in it, but that would be starting to colour the grid in vampire, non-vampire, victim and non-victim cells. And every cell in the grid would have 2 colours in it. And that's just a mess waiting to happen. So what I'm going to try and do instead is use 3 colours, 1 for vampire, 1 for victim, 1 for neither, and see if we can work it out. So I'm just going to know for myself that there's no victim cell within that cage. Here's another impossibly high cage. That must have a vampire cell in it and no victim cell. Here's another one, 19 and 2 cells. Here's another one, 23. Here's another one. So there are 4 definite vampires around this puzzle. Victims, not so, well, there's a 2. That's impossible. What was I going to do? Yellow, I said, for victim cells. So one of those is a victim. There's a 2 there. One of those is a 0 valued victim. There's a 1 there. But there's also this arrangement of 3, 4 in box 1. Now, there must be a victim cell within that group, because you can't make 4 genuine values add to 7. So one of those is a victim. Now, there are some cells that I can shade green. So the remaining cells in box 1, because we've isolated where the victim and the vampire are. These 2 can't be red because of this cage, and they can't be yellow because of this one. So they're green. Oh, this column has got red and yellow in it, so those are all green. Green is just natural and normal and no problem. These 2 see double red in the column. Actually, these 2 as well. They both see double red in the column. Well, sorry, not double red. They see red in the column and yellow in the box. So they're green. It's tricky where this vampire cage grave crosses boxes, because you don't know. It really matters which one of these is the vampire. If it was there, we could, I don't know. Anyway, it's trickier. Is that the only cage that does cross box borders? And then there's that one. Now, there are more things that we know. So in the victim graves, there must be a genuine 1 in this grave, as well as a cell counting as 0. We can, just for the sake of completeness, well, we know there isn't a vampire in it, but we could rule it out just by considering the cage total. But anyway, there's a 1 in there. Okay, we know exactly where the 1 is, thanks to given digits. That is the natural 1. So that goes green. This is the definite victim cell here. Now, I don't know what digit is in it. If the vampire is in this cage, then these 3 add up to 12. But if it's here, that doesn't apply. Can we keep 1 off the stake? Not sure. I'm not going to try and do it. Now, yellow there and yellow there. There must be a yellow in this cage. So there must be a genuine 5 in this cage as well. Yes, this was what I was doing before. We knew there was a genuine 1 there. There must be a genuine 2 here and a genuine 2 here. It's easier with the victim cages. I mean, 2-cell cages is quite helpful. But it's easier because you know 1 genuine digit. With the vampire cages, you're adding the 2 digits in the cage and some victim digit that's outside the cage, anywhere in the box. So they're a little less helpful, I think. Oh, this is a genuine stake, adding up to 16 or 17, and so is this. So they must be selected from 987, and they must contain a 9 within that pair and within that pair. Now, does this have to be a genuine? Doesn't. This can't be a victim, but it could be a vampire if this cage was made up of 2 small numbers and the victim in this box was another small number. So I can't make that green, I don't think. Now, one of these little cages is genuine. Either the 3 has... Oh, I was going to say they must have a... no, that's right. One of the cages is genuine and has a 1 in it, because either that is a genuine 1-3 pair or that's a genuine 1-2 pair. So the 1 in the box must be in one of those 3 cells now. And therefore this is the 1 in column 3. And there's a 1 somewhere. Okay, up here I was balking at bothering to think about whether 1 could be on a stake. Down here it would help more. If 1 can't be there, then not only is this a 1-2 pair, but well, it's disappointing news. I cannot rule 1 off a stake, because if you had 1 on a stake, the other cell on a stake could be a vampire cell and could be getting the necessary amount of values from the victim somewhere in the box. So bother. Okay, well, it was worth a thought. This is green because it sees 2 reds in the column, 2 yellows in the box. This is not... Oh, bother. I was going to say this is not a vampire cage, nor is this. And that's true because of the given 7. Oh, look, this one is a vampire cage. I'm going to do that first. Sorry, the given 7. Let me just explain the thought about the given 7. That means these can't be vampire and normal cages, because then they would have the vampire digit and a 7. But they can't do that because 7 has gone in the row. No, this one is interesting. This can't be natural because it would have a 1 in it, and we obviously can't do that. So this is a victim cage with yellow in one of those cells. Now, this cannot be a victim cell anymore. That's natural. This, actually, everything else in this row is natural because we've got red and yellow. Everything else in this box. And this is definitely the victim cell, and this is the natural 2. I've got 3 digits in the grid after 8 minutes. That's not bad in a blobs puzzle. Now, there's a natural 3 in there, along with the value 0 victim. Here, 23 is a useful total, because even though we know that we're adding 3 digits. We know quite a lot about those digits. They have to be 9, 8 and 6. They're all in the same box in this case. So the 3 digits that make up the 23 total, these two and the victim, are 9, 8 and 6. And therefore the other digit that's not a 3 in here is, well, it's not 6 in this row, it's 8 or 9. So 6 is in this cage. Don't know if it's natural or vampire. Doesn't really matter to me at this point. But this is now a 3, 6, 8, 9 quad in the box. Everything else in the box is 2, 4 or 5. Now, can we tell anything about the 19 cage in the row? That's going to represent 3 digits summing to 19. They can only use one from 8 and 9 because the other one will be there in the row. But of course they could use the other one in the, I don't know. We need to know more about what vampires are and so on. Oh goodness, I do find it hard to get your head around the rules and the interactions here. I need to think of something new at the moment. Oh, 6 cage here. Could that be natural? Ah, it cannot be unnatural. It cannot have a vampire in it because there is a 6 in one of those 2 cells. If this had a vampire in it, a victim cell in it, I'm sorry. If this had a victim cell in it, it would have a natural 6, but that would clash with the 6 that must appear there. So this is natural. And it's not 1, 5, so that must be 2, 4. And this is a 5. Is there's only one cell? Oh, look, yellow is looking at that. That is green. That is yellow. This is yellow in column 7, definitely. So that's not yellow. Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong button there. That is not, what am I trying to do? Get rid of the color. That is not yellow, that's green. Now, we don't know anything about, yes we do. These 2 cells plus that add up to 18. We do know that. Oh, and these are all natural. We've got a natural stake here with 9, 7 or 8 as the selected cells. That one can't be 7 by Sudoku, and there must be a 9 on the stake. Now, these add up to 18 without using a 9, and only 1 from 8 or 7. I don't know. But here, we know the natural digit is there. That's a 3. Oh, has that messed up the stake? No, it hasn't. I am right. I am right. That is the natural digit. This is the vampire, the victim digit, which is an 8 or a 9. And that's an interesting pairing. Oh, goodness. Okay, so much is happening now. This, I think, has to be the vampire cell in the box because this stake has to add up to 16 or 17. And it can't do that if this is natural. So that is vampire. This one is, oh, I managed to not make that happen. This is natural. That stake is all natural. Now, this is maybe the one stake in the puzzle that could be 8, 8 if it was adding up to 16. So I normally write 9, 8, 7 on these cells. I don't think 6 can be on them. Yeah, I'm still going to write 9, 8, 7. And that gets me a triple. Okay, I haven't used these triples going up and down. I've got an 8, 9 pair. That's a 6. And that's the first definite vampire or victim cell we've identified. So I'm going to have to keep a sort of mental log ruling out 6s and 6s from other vampire cells. Oh, it's going to get confusing, believe you me. Never mind, let's just plug on. We got that 7, 8, 9 triple in the column. So everything else in this column is from 2. Oh no, look, this is a naked pair in this grave. What a horrible, horrible metaphor. But anyway, this pair sees a 7, 8, 9 triple in the column plus 1 and 3. It also sees a 2, 4 pair. So that is 5 and 6. Now we worked out earlier that 2 reds plus yellow there equals this cage total of 18. So that is a 7. And now we are in business. We've got a 1-3 pair there. We've got 5-6 there. Well, 2-4 are left to place in the column. This column's doing pretty well too. That is 8 or 9, and this is a 3 by elimination. That's not a 5 in the box. Now, does the 12 cage... Oh, we could do maths on the box with the secret. Perhaps. I don't know. It would help to know if the vampire was in the grave or not in it here. But let's do the maths. So we've got a 7, 8, 9 triple. That adds up to 24. Plus 3 and 1 is 28. We know the secret, that the box total contains 45. Is 45. Because every row, column and box is. 28 deducted from 45 leaves 17. Now the 12 is either all natural, and that will leave these two digits, not values, adding up to 5. And that is impossible, because it would need an odd digit below 5, and they're both gone. So this is not natural. It has a vampire in it, and this is therefore not a vampire, but is natural. And now these 3 digits add up to this cage total of 12, because the vampire will take the victim value. So they're going to have to be 2, 4, 6, leaving 5 out of the grave. Now I've got a 2, 4, 6 triple here. I do know that the 6 can't be red, because we've had a red 6. In fact, the 6 here can't be red. So we're going to have a red 5 and a red 2 or 4. I don't know much more based on the other colouring. But we have made progress. We have got somewhere. I am happy with that. Now we're going to need to switch it across the grid somehow. This sees red and yellow in this row now. So they're all green. That is a natural stake. An odd concept with a 9 on it and either 7 or 8. Now, where is the vampire in this grave? Is he down south or up north? I just don't know. I do need to know. Oh, I tell you what, we do know the total of these boxes. That's weird, these cages. Because that 20 cage is going to count the victim digit, which is going to count as 0 in the other cages. So these cages between them, the digits will add up to 27. Take that from 45 and these 3 add up to 18. And I don't know how that helps, but it's true. Now, we worked out that this cage cannot have a victim cell in it because it would need a natural 7. And we know now, maybe we knew before, that it can't have a vampire cell. So that's an all-natural cage. And this seems to be the only place a victim can go in the box. So that's a natural 3 to make the cage total work. This natural cage cannot have a 1 or a 3. It must be 2, 5 to make 7 there. These digits are from 4, 7, 8, 9. The 19 cage is made up of those 2 plus that one added together, the 19 total. I don't know, that doesn't seem all that helpful. Now, if this was natural as a cage, it would be a 3, 4 pair. But the alternative is that this is a vampire cell, and the cage then would have to add to 7 using that digit. Well, that would have to be 1, 2, 4. That doesn't work. So green there, this is a 3, 4 pair. We've got 6, 8, 9 left to place in the row. In fact, we know where 6 goes. That is just Sudoku. I'd quickly check the other victim cells. It doesn't affect them. This is a 5 by elimination. That doesn't affect the other victim cells either. 9 is in one of those 2 cells, so this can't be a 9. That's an 8. That's a 9. This one is not a 9 now because we're only adding up to 16 or 17, not 18. Apparently 18 is not an acceptable age for a teenage vampire slayer in Blobs' world. This is a 1-8 pair. Now, what's going on this stake? Oh, 8 comes out of those cells. Sorry, this is just done, isn't it? We get an 8 in that victim cell. So the victims we've found are 8, 7, 6, 5 so far. Something going on down there. We'll use those soon, I think, but not yet. Now, let's think about, first of all, this, this cage, 19 is being made up of 6 and 2 cells adding to 13 there. They are a 9-4 pair. That's a 7. Now, on this stake, if that is, we've got, I don't know whether we've got a natural 9 or a vampire 9 here. That's strange. How do we make up the 17 or 16 total? If that's an 8, that could be a natural 9. That'll do it. But if this is the vampire cell, then you're adding 6. And then you need these 2 digits to add up to 10 or 11. And they could be a 9-1 pair. I think this is always 9, because this is either 9-1 or 9-8 as a pair. But we don't know whether it's vampire or natural. So we don't know whether the vampire here is a 9 or a 4. If I knew that the vampire here was a 4, we would know. But it could be a 2 there. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Well, that's what it is. It is what it is, as the youth say. Now, okay, if this is red, then this cage would be taking its victim from that box. 8 and 5 is 13. That would be a 6. If this cage is red, then it's taking the victim from down here. I don't even know the answer to that. Oh, there's an X-wing on reds. Oh, that's so weird. So red has to be up here in one of those 3 cells, because the red cells in rows 2 and 3 are in those places. These 2 are green because they see red in the box and yellow in the row now, in the column. About these 2? I mean, I bet they're green. This cell. So I left open the possibility that this could be a vampire cell. It can't be a victim, but it could have been a vampire. But then the vampire and victim cells in this box would now have to add up to 4, and they would be a 1-3 pair, and this digit cannot be 3 or 1, so that is a natural cell. I mean, and it's therefore a 4. Okay, that might be worth something. That's not a 4. There is a 4 in one of those 2 cells. Now there's a 4 in one of these 2. Can this ever be a 4? It would require a victim of 7 in one of these boxes, and that's not possible because we had the 7 victim up in that corner of the graveyard. So that is not a 4. That is a 4. That's a 3. That's a 4. There's a 4 somewhere up here. I'm not going to pencil mark that. These digits are from 3, 6, 7, 8. It can't be 9 because that's on the stake. I don't know. I find it very difficult to either work out how the cage is going to add up to 20 with the victim. No, I can do that, actually. I can do something. Right. This is up in the air because it just depends whether this is natural or not. But this cage has to add to 20, including the victim. Now, think about the possible combinations. 3, 6 would leave a victim of 11. Impossible. 3, 7 would leave a victim of 10. Impossible. 3, 8 is possible with a victim of 9. So that's one possibility. 6, 7 would need a victim of 7, which is a repeat digit in the box. 6, 8 would leave a repeat digit of 8, which is a repeat digit of 8 in the box. I've done the maths wrong. It would leave a repeat digit of 6 as the victim in the box. Also impossible. And 8, 7 would need a victim of 5, and we've had the victim of 5. So there is only one possibility, incredibly, here. It's 3, 8 with a victim of 9 somewhere here. And that digit is a 6. And this, oh, do we know whether 3 or 8 is the vampire? No, because we haven't had 3 or 8 as definite vampires anywhere. But we know 8 comes off that pair. 8 is now in one of those 2 cells. We've had 8 as a victim. So 8 cannot end up in the 5 cage because it would either be a repeat victim or contributing its real value. So 8 is there, and we've had 8 as a victim. Oh, we haven't had it as a vampire. Well, it can't be a vampire in the 11 cage. So that's natural, and that's a 3. Oh, it takes such thinking through. Now, the digits left in this box are 2, 5, and 6. Here we have a natural 5 and a victim 2, because we've had a victim 6 before. So that's a 2, 5 pair. That is a 6. I'm first of all going to do this corner. That's a 6, and that's not. Then I'm going to think about this cage adding up to 19. It needs the victim to be a 5, and the victim 5 is there, so this is the vampire. Now this is the only place left for a vampire. I'm not sure about that. Yes, I am. It can't be here. This is the only place left for a vampire in the box. And that's a 4 vampire. So this one isn't a 4 vampire. This is a 9 vampire. And now we know what this digit is, because it is being added into the total of 16 or 17. It's a 1. Sorry, because the 6 is being added into the total. Right. So we're having a 2 vampire cell here, a victim cell, a 2. Why do they have to both begin with V? No, that's really good, because this now can't be a 2 victim cell. That's a 4. That's a 2. The 6 is not a vampire because we've had a 6 vampire before. So the 2 is the vampire. Up here it's going to be a 5 vampire. So the vampire cells we've had are 5, 6, 2, 9, 4, 8. That must be a 3. We've got a 1 and a 7 left as vampire cells remaining. The one up here is going to be a 1. And that's now not a 1. And the one down here is going to be a 7 in one of those cells. That, oh, it's got to be here because we've got a vampire cell in column 5 already. So there's the vampire 7. There is the vampire 1. We found, no, we haven't found all the vampire cells. We did some of this by just knowing what those digits were going to be. But we've got some certainty. These are all green. Haven't found yellow up here yet. Now, this vampire cell. Oh, let's just do Sudoku first. Might help when we get to thinking about the 14 cage, which is going to consist of 7 plus that plus the victim cell here. Now, victim cells are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a 2 down there, a 9 up here. The victim cell here has to be a 1, and there's going to be a 3 victim cell in one of those. So that's now a 1, 2 pair. This is 8 or 9 by Sudoku. This is a natural stake which doesn't have a 7 in, so it's an 8, 9 pair. This is a 2, 5 pair. Now this cage had to add to 6, but it's got a vampire cell, so it's going to add the victim cell, which is a 3, and that's a 2. It works. That 5 tells me this is a 5, and I know that 6 can't be a vampire cell. So those two are green, these two are definite vampire cells, and this is the last one and is a 3. So all the vampire cells are done, and we get a 3 in the corner. And in a graveyard, it's certainly losing its religion. Now, that's an 8. This cage, oh, we've done that. 8 plus 3 plus 9 is 20. Do I not know any more about where the 9 is? Okay, I must know something up here. This cage cannot be natural because it would need a 3-1. So it's got the vampire in it, the victim in it. So it's got a natural 4 in it as well. So we've got a kind of, oops, a 4-1-9 triple. This is a natural cage. That's absolutely vital and simple. 2, 1. And this is now a 4-9 cage. We can write the digits in. I see a 4 further down the grid. And we know that the victim here is not the 4 because we've had a 4 victim. It's the 9. And that means this is not a victim cell. And that is. And that victim is a 2 in the corner there. That's a 5. This is 7 and 9. This is 7 and 8. I think we're on the home stretch here. Of course, coming up to the hour mark. The half-hour mark, because it's a blobs puzzle. Oh, no, it's okay. 5 and 7, they're still working. Thought I'd got an impossibility. 4 and 9 here seems to prove what we were expecting. Now, 3 and 6 here, and one of them is a victim. So these are natural. I can write in my 2 and 1, and that's probably telling me, yes, we've had a 2 victim before. So we finish off the colouring, and up here the victim we need is a 3. That's a 6, 2, 5. This digit is now a 6. And now I hope I can just prove this cage total. 7, 6, 1 equals 14. I can. That's become a 7. Oh, I haven't coloured this for some reason correctly. Now 2 and 4 there. 9 and 8 on the stake. 2 stakes left to complete to put the stake through the heart of this puzzle. And there we go. Fantastic. I love Blobs' consistency and brilliance with setting these puzzles. And that is the Teenage Vampire Slayer done. It's beautiful. It's beautiful how it all just flows through. You do have to clear your mind a bit for this one and keep track of the victims and vampires. Always a good idea at the Hellmouth. And I will see you again soon tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching us on the channel, and bye for now.